So I wanted to talk about the Kula Cloth. I promised in another video I would do it, and it's time to do it. I hate the Kula Cloth. I've hated it day hiking. I've had problems with it, but I had no other good solution to bring with me on the trail, and I brought it. And let me tell you, if you don't like something in a day hike, you're not going to like it when you have to use it for months and months and months. So the first thing I don't like, it is hard to pull apart the snaps. And like at night or anytime you're in a hurry and you pull this apart and you grab it in the wrong place, it's counterintuitive anyway, but then you got to pull it apart again and then snap it back up again. And I just found it annoying. And most women do find this sort of counterintuitive and annoying, but you deal with it. The real issue is because it's such a thick fabric. I mean, they say it's antimicrobial. I'm sure that doesn't last forever, so who cares? But they claim if you leave this out in the sun, it will dry out, it burns out all the ammonia, and it doesn't stink anymore. Right, the issue with that is this fabric is so thick, and I don't even know what this stuff is, what this weird rubbery plasticky stuff is. I don't know, but it doesn't dry out. Like, you can have this on your pack all day in the sun, but with humidity, and you're not really in the sun that long, you're in the green tunnel or in the cooler weather at the start of the trail, it just didn't dry out. And even though you're washing it every night, you see the summit, you're cleaning it out, it still stinks and stinks and stinks. Whenever it's wet, it stinks, and it never thoroughly dries out. And you're going to towns, you're going to hostels. I actually would soak it in a Ziploc with my Aquatab, bleach Aquatabs, couldn't get the stink out. I had a hostel owner give me bleach to try to clean it out. Washing it with soap couldn't get the stink away. One said use vinegar or baking soda, and we tried that. We tried soaking it. It still stunk. I'm telling you, we tried everything to get rid of the smell in this. And then I finally went to other women on the trail because I'm like, someone must know something I don't. And I started asking women, how are you getting the stink out of this? And they said, oh my gosh, I thought it was just me because everyone says it's so great. Mine stinks so bad, they were hiding it in their bathroom kits and not putting it on the outside of their pack anymore because it stunk so bad. And they said every time they unzipped the little bathroom bag, it stunk, and everything in it stunk to high heaven. It just is a permeating stink. It's too thick to dry out. It will never dry out, or rarely dry out. Even trying to hang it overnight inside of our tents to try, then your inside of your tent smells. I'm like, we just couldn't handle this. And I started Googling what was working for women, and some said a bandana, but I had already tried that, where you quarter a bandana and you put it on a safety pin. I just found it to be not soft and not very absorbent, so you can get wet fingertips from it, which who wants that on trail, right? So that was why I went to this. But this just wasn't drying out, and the further we got on trail, the more it stunk. Like, you could smell women coming a good distance away, and nobody wants that. I mean, it's bad enough you're going to stink like body odor from hiking. You don't want to be smelling like a cat box. So I started thinking, what would work that would be better than a bandana? And I kind of looked down and thought, this is hanging on the front of my pack all the time. It is an REI multi-towel. It costs $10. It is super absorbent, yet very thin and easy to wring out to be almost dry. And I would hang this on the front of my pack all the time for a face wipe, or if it was hot, I could dip it in water and wash up with it, do bird baths with it instead of wet wipes. This is what I use, and it is phenomenal and so lightweight and inexpensive. So I thought, well, what if I used this? Because I also use it for my kitchen system. I have this to clean the pot after I make dinner. And after I'm done with it, I would wash it all out and fold it up just like this in a small Ziploc bag, and it would still be damp. It would not fully dry out, but it would be damp, and I'd put it in the Ziploc, and I would put it in my pack at the top with the bear bag, so the next day when I had lunch, I could clean my spoon with it, I could wash up any food that was on my hands after, and that way I'm not putting food on this one. And then I'd put it back in the Ziploc bag, and after dinner I'd wash the pan with it again, and then I'd clean this again and get it ready for the next day. So it was sort of a handy wipe. So I thought, well, what if I get one of these, which I did, and they come in this cute little stuff sack here, which I didn't bring with me on trail. It's extra weight, but it is really cute. And you get them all different colors so that you can tell them apart. And I got this one to try as a replacement for this. And now they make them with a little clip. So you press the little clip. So rather than using a safety pin, it would just clip wherever you need it to go. And what you do is you cut out a quarter of it, just like you would with a bandana, but make sure this stays on the corner that you're taking here. And now you have this super soft, very absorbent, but easy to wring out, fast drying fabric that even when it rains, like you just take a second wringing out and it's damp. Like it doesn't soak up water and drip with water. It's such an easy to manage piece of gear. And when you leave it out in the sun on your pack, it takes, I'm telling you, minutes to dry. This dry, even in humid weather, it will dry out even if you're not in the sun. It just is really quick drying so that the urine does burn out of it and it doesn't stink. And this, every time, if it ever dried out, it rarely did. If you ever got it wet again, it just stunk again to high heaven. This one, if you get it wet again, like if you wash it with your Cedar Summit, it will get clean and it won't stink. And you can actually get it to dry out and burn out that ammonia smell so that you're not carrying the stink with you all the time. But at the end of every day, you're cleaning it out thoroughly, and it just worked so well. It has been working amazingly well on my day hikes, and I've even been using it and saying, okay, I'm not gonna wash it for one day and assume, let's see what happens. And the next day washing it out and it coming thoroughly clean. I just wanted to test it in every way, and I absolutely love it. And I am going to burn this now because after I brought it home, I actually soaked this in bleach for 6 hours and it still stunk like urine, and I soaked it for another 6 to get the urine smell out, and I finally got it out, and it's just not worth that kind of trouble. We're going to burn that. My husband laughs when I say that. We're going with this from now on. It's lighter. I mean, it is lighter, and it is better in every single way. So ladies, there's finally an answer for us where we don't have to stink in order to be clean.
Things are scary, cemetery, read you in obituary.